I'm just thinking about clarity. It's something that we often feel like we're waiting for before we step forwards, right? We feel like when I have some clarity, I will take some action, I'll step forwards. When I know this thing, then I'll start to move towards where I most want to be. When this feels kind of sorted in me and I feel like I'm ready, I will then start to step forwards on my path. And basically what we're doing there is we're kind of waiting for clarity to come to us as a thought. We're waiting for almost this inspiration to just pop into our heads as a thought, and when we have that, then I will be clear, then I will know what to do, and then I can start moving. And sometimes that happens, but actually it's pretty rare. And actually that often happens only when we've really taken the action of doing things that help us to almost download these inspirational, wise thoughts. So something like when we've taken the action of meditating regularly, when we've taken the action of slowing ourselves down, getting really still, developing a kind of practice of being able to actually tune into something deeper, truer, wiser, so that those thoughts start to come to us. But actually on a daily basis, when we're just kind of carrying on and getting on with our lives, and we've got the hustle and bustle of everything and there's so much going on, if we're waiting for clarity to come to us in those circumstances, when we're just kind of sleepwalking through, we're getting on with our daily stuff, we're moving from really quite an unconscious place of our patterns and programs and habits just kind of running the show, then clarity is not going to come to us in thought. It's not going to come to us in thought. And if we're waiting for it to come to us as a thought, then we could be waiting a hell of a long time. Actually, if we want clarity, then we need to take action. When we take action, then we can create clarity. And we can create clarity going in the direction that we actually want to go in. And sometimes we don't know that at the start, right? But even just one step in the direction we think we want to go in can then allow us to stop after that step and look around us and say, okay, where am I now? Where am I now? Have I got any more clarity now that I've taken one step? And of course, when we take one step, we can look around and then decide, do I now want to take another step in this direction? Or actually, do I want to stand still for a bit? Or actually, am I going to step sideways? Or am I going to step backward? We often kind of think that once I start down a route, I have to continue down that whole route, even if a few steps in, I realize it's not leading me to where I want to be, or I've changed my mind, or something else has happened. But when we really get conscious about it, we recognize that that's not the case at all. We can take one step and we can look around and we can assess and we can reflect and we can get quiet and we can kind of, think and then act from another place of purpose, of wisdom, of what we feel is the next step for us right then and there. Not necessarily the right step, but just the next step that then allows us to look and correct the course if we feel we want to or need to correct the course. But ultimately, it's those steps, it's those actions that create the clarity that we're looking for. So if you're just waiting, as often I find myself doing from an unconscious place, if you're just waiting for that clarity to come to you, when I know this, when I know how to do this, I'll take a step forwards, I'll take some action. When this is sorted, I'll move forwards. When this sudden burst of inspiration comes to me, then I'll know it's right. and I'll start moving. Actually, create some action, take a step. Even if it's a step that might end up being in the wrong direction, ultimately it'll be the right direction, because it will potentially lead you to being able to say, oh, this was the wrong direction. So now I know that I can take a step in a different direction. Take some action, create some clarity for yourself. I've definitely found that to be a powerful thing. When I remember that, and I have to keep reminding myself, but when I remember that, it's a really powerful thing. So stop waiting for clarity to come to you as a thought, because you're going to be waiting a hell of a long time. Take action and create your own clarity.